to my channel where I talk about things, um, and specifically Bitcoin on this video. So, well, if you look at Bitcoin on the new monthly VRE, you'll notice that the new central range for the monthly, so that is the new central monthly range of the VRE, has dropped about $5,000 down to around the 57K area, and the upside and bottom side of that central monthly range is around 2% of the asset's value in terms of the height of that range. So, or the width of that range, if you want to call it that way. So, yeah, it's right on the border of being a trending month slash random walk month. And what that means is, we could see this be kind of a sluggish month, which would not be too surprising. I know a lot of people are excited that it's September and they're ready to see it pop, but it may take some time. It may take most of the month. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, it's right on that border, at 2% on that threshold. The new daily range is very tight. It's at 0.16% of the asset's value, the central daily range, that is, which means it is most probably a trending day. And if you look at the 15-minute time frame, there's already been a couple of trending moves on the day. This first day of September in 2024. And if you look at lower time frames, well, if you look at the daily time frame, you'll see also it's on a random walk still. And if you look at the lower time frames, you'll see that the 4-hour for now remains in mean reversion to the 3012 RMLR, currently up just above the asset at around 57.7K, something like that, 57.8, something like that. So quite not high above the asset where it is right now. I just looked at it some minutes ago, and I can easily complete that mean reversion, which has been in progress now for a good number of days already. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that mean reversion complete today. Could happen tomorrow if it drops precipitously today down to like well below where the RMLR is dropping down to today. Then yeah, it could theoretically not complete it today or even tomorrow. It could take some more days. But for now, it looks like it's probably going to complete that mean reversion today. We'll see. More importantly, also, the 3-hour mean reversion is also happening because yesterday, Saturday, it had a couple of candles above the third standard deviation band of the 3012 RMLR on that 3-hour time frame. And that means that the asset is in mean reversion to that RMLR, which is currently well below it, at around 54K, 55K, somewhere in that area. So it could also, do a precipitous drop and complete that mean reversion, and that would take the 4-hour further away from the mean reversion of the RMLR, of course. But we'll see what will happen. Right? Will they both complete today or tomorrow? Will we have a very volatile day where the asset pops up, shoots down, or shoots down and pops up? We'll see. But remember, it is still a holiday weekend. Tomorrow is Labor Day. And that means in the US, a lot of retail trader folks are not going to be trading today if they're still coming back from holidays. And if they're not trading tomorrow on traditional markets. So they also might not be trading crypto, which means there'll be a bit of a dearth of or a lack of retail trader activity. And there you have it. That's a quick analysis. The asset is moving along nicely according to the VEPs. Things are moving the way they do. Certainly is a day where you can scalp on low time frames. And, while the cat's away, the mice will play, as they say. Now, then there's the question of how much Bitcoin should you own to be financially well off at some point in the future? To which the answer is always pretty much the same. It really depends on your context. What does financially well off mean to you? For some people that could be an extra $500 a month. For some people that could be an extra 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000. Some people need 100 grand a month. Some people need millions a month, right, to consider themselves financially well off. Some people need tens of millions extra a month. I know it sounds crazy, but like if you, I'll give you an example. There's this woman, I think she's like 81 years old or something like that now already. She used to be kind of a celebrity victim of botched plastic surgery or semi-intentionally botched plastic surgery. She was called Catwoman because the plastic surgery made her eyes look kind of feline or whatever. Anyway, she used to be a rather attractive young Swiss woman who then underwent a whole bunch of plastic surgery for whatever. And scary, to be honest. But there you go. That was this is in life. And she was married to some art collector back in the 80s or 90s. And when they got divorced, the financial settlement was that she would get paid something like $2.5 billion doled out in chunks every year. And the chunks were like, more than I think more than 100 million or 200 million a year. It was some insane number, whatever it is. It's more than 100 million a year. And some years ago, after the man had passed away and left, his inheritance to whoever he had to leave it to in his family, the family decided to basically cut her off from her payments. And the woman who had received a $2.5 billion divorce settlement, 2.5 billion with a B, was spending so much money every year, like more than $100 million a year, that she's broke. She made a Netflix documentary recently, or she's working on one, I don't know, about her life and all that kind of stuff. And she did it because she needed the money. I mean, just imagine, making $100 million a year for doing nothing other than literally being alive and receiving your divorce settlement payments at a rate of $100 million a year. We're talking, more than $200,000 a day, right? 365 days in a year. It's almost 300 grand a year. Let's just call it $250,000 a day, okay? Whatever the actual number is. $250,000 a day. For most people, $250,000, if you gave them that, that's life-changing money. Like, really life-changing money for most people. If you gave her that money, it was gone in a day, on average. Right? So your context matters. It really does. Of course, your bad financial planning and management matters too. If you do it badly, you're going to have problems. If you do it well, you probably won't have as many problems financially. But just think about that. $250,000 a day for 20-something years. And now she's out of money and is doing Netflix documentaries to pay the bills, which, I mean, good for her for getting Netflix documentaries, I guess, made about her, but kind of expected. She's a former A-list celebrity kind of, I don't, for whatever reason. And yeah, that's what she can rely on. And but she's at a rather advanced age, so how many documentaries are going to be made about her? And will she have learned her lessons about financial mismanagement and stop spending such a massive amount of money? Well, obviously she can't keep spending $300,000 a day if she's broke. But it's just insane that somebody would live their life like that, especially when they knew the payments weren't forever. They were told the $2.5 billion were received. And what did she think she was going to do? Just live on 100? Like, it's crazy. Put one of those years aside. Buy yourself a house and live comfortably for the rest of your life. And then you want to go crazy and waste the rest of your money, fine. But at least you got $100 million in the bank that you never touch in case the well runs dry. But no, that's not how she chose to do her things. Now, when it comes to the question of how much should a person own, like I said, it depends on context. Right? I've already discussed that basically if you own something like 2/1000ths of a Bitcoin, right, 0.002 Bitcoin, you already own as much or more as the average person will ever own. I'm talking about the average person if you were to just, calculate it globally. 0.002 Bitcoin. And most people will never be able to own that much. So when you consider that and you think about what that means, is owning 0.008 Bitcoin in your future, is 0.021 Bitcoin in your future, is 1 Bitcoin in your future, whatever it is. It depends on your context. Anyway, I just want to let you know about that. Things to think about. Happy Bitcoining. Talk to you soon.